3 friends walked to the river together every morning. But only one returned with a mysterious necklace that could expose every lie. In the peaceful village of Amuoka, everyone knew the 3 friends. Ada was lazy and hated hard work. Saad was beautiful but proud. She loved gossip and cared too much about what people thought of her. And then there was Ifeoma. Quiet, hardworking, kind-hearted. Every evening before sunset, the 3 girls carried clay pots on their heads and walked to the river to fetch water for their families. The journey was long, but they always went together. One cold evening, thick fog covered the narrow path home. As they walked carefully through the muddy road, they noticed an old woman struggling with a heavy bundle of firewood. The woman looked weak and exhausted. "Please," she said softly, "can someone help me carry this?" Ada frowned immediately. "I'm already tired," she complained before walking away. "Så det ligger lodlig. If you're too old to carry wood, then stay at home," she mocked. The old woman lowered her head silently. But Ifeoma stopped walking. Even though she was exhausted herself, she placed down her water pot and gently carried the heavy firewood for the old woman. Step by step, she helped her all the way to a tiny hut near the forest. The old woman smiled warmly. Her eyes suddenly looked strangely bright. Then she reached into her wrapper and brought out a tiny silver necklace. "This belongs to you now," she whispered. Ifeoma looked confused. "It shines only for a truthful heart." Before Ifeoma could ask another question, the cold wind blew strongly through the trees, and the old woman disappeared into the thick fog. Ifeoma stood frozen. Had she imagined everything? The necklace looked simple, small, ordinary. But from that day forward, strange things began happening. Whenever someone lied near Ifeoma, the necklace glowed softly. At first she thought it was coincidence. But soon, the entire village noticed something unusual about her life. A traitor once accused her falsely of stealing money. Suddenly the necklace glowed brightly. Moments later the real thief confessed in fear. Another day, a farmer rewarded Ifeoma after discovering she had returned his lost coins without taking a single one. Slowly, people began trusting her more and more. Good things seemed to follow her everywhere. Meanwhile, Saad watched everything carefully. At first, she pretended to be happy for her friend. But deep inside, jealousy began growing like fire. "She's nothing special," Saad whispered one afternoon. "It's the necklace." The more villagers praised Ifeoma, the more bitterness filled Saada's heart. Soon she became obsessed with the necklace. She wanted it for herself. One night, Saad secretly followed Ifeoma home. Hidden behind the window, she watched carefully as Ifeoma removed the necklace before sleeping and placed it inside a small wooden box beside her bed. Saad smiled quietly. "This is my chance," she thought. Hours later, when the village became silent and dark, Saad crept into the house barefoot. Slowly, carefully, her hands trembled as she opened the wooden box. Inside, the tiny silver necklace rested peacefully. The moment she touched it, the room exploded with bright silver light. Saad screamed. The necklace burned like fire in her hands. Then something terrifying happened. Voices echoed through the room. Not ordinary voices. Her own lies. Every cruel rumor she had spread. Every fake smile. Every jealous thought. Every secret betrayal. The glowing necklace exposed them all. Suddenly, family members woke up and rushed into the room. They stared in shock as the silver light filled the house. Saad collapsed to the floor crying. The truth was finally exposed. For years, she had secretly lied about people in the village. She had created fights between friends. She had pretended to care while secretly hating others. Now, everyone knew. Then suddenly, the necklace stopped glowing. The room became silent again. Saad covered her face in shame. "I'm sorry," she cried. "I was jealous. I wanted your life." Ifeoma looked at her quietly. At that moment, she finally understood the necklace's true purpose. It was never meant to bring riches. It was never about power. The necklace simply revealed what people carried inside their hearts. Saad expected anger. She expected humiliation. But instead, Ifeoma gently helped her stand. "I forgive you," she said softly. Saad burst into tears again. Not because she was exposed, but because someone she had betrayed still chose kindness. From that day forward, Saad changed completely. She became more humble, more honest, more compassionate. And although the necklace never glowed as brightly again, the people of Umuaka never forgot its lesson. Because true blessings do not come from magic. They come from kindness, honesty, and humility. Jealousy may hide in darkness for a while, but eventually, the truth always finds the light. And sometimes, the greatest magic is simply having a good heart.